Welcome back to the Bible Reading Project. It is
Wednesday.
Man, I'm so glad to have my best friend Ryan Holdeman and the whole entire clan is in the house this week. Your brother's here. Your mom's here, man. She's making meatloaf for me. She's making banana bread for you, but for me too.
Right.
Me and your mom got a $200 wager to get you married off. We found out yesterday that you also can marry yourself because you're ordained to marry people. We're putting a phone number up that'll say for people that need a good priest, I guess we would call you. You can marry people. What's your fee, by the way?
My fee?
Yeah, to marry somebody.
Free.
You do it for free.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, man. I may do a whole nother wedding with me and Robin and just let you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we could redo our vows.
That'd be awesome.
And you would do that for me.
Yep.
You'd stand in front and go, "Dearly beloved." Would you make it meaningful? Like, people may want to know, if you do a wedding, do you make it meaningful or you just read from a book?
I try to make it meaningful.
So you'll take time to kind of get to know them a little bit.
Yeah.
No, have you ever been married?
I've never been married.
All right. So if you're married, or can I walk you down the aisle and give you away?
Yeah, you can give me away.
Yeah, because I feel like I would deserve to do that, right?
Yeah.
Like typically it's the bride. She gets
Right.
to walk down. No, I want to give you away too.
Yeah.
I want your mom to say, "Who gives this man?" I want your mom to say, "Katie," and then she's going to clap because finally she gets a grandbaby.
Right.
So we've been celebrating mom, kind of just reminiscing through some old pictures. Tell us a little bit about that. That looks like something's going on.
Yeah. It looks
Do you
like
remember
a horror
that?
movie. Yeah, I don't remember it. I don't know what's happening.
Where you don't remember it because you were not living right, or you just don't remember it
I just
because
don't
your
remember
mom's
it.
here and you could be in trouble?
No.
I feel like you broke something and you don't want to tell her. It looks like you're outside, like running from something,
Yeah.
scared.
I have no idea.
I noticed your brother Alex is here too.
Yeah, he is.
Do y'all get along? Do y'all fight? Did you fight growing up?
Yeah, we fought.
Are you
growing up.
older or is he older?
I'm the oldest.
Were you mean to him?
He would probably say I was.
So do you need to ask him to forgive you right here on camera?
Yeah, probably do.
Okay, Alex.
He didn't want to come in here.
Dude, no, that is a man of God that just from the hall will scream, "I forgive you."
Yeah.
That means he's had things against you for years.
Because I broke his toe once.
And tell us that story. We want to know.
I was chasing him up the stairs, and then he was running, and then he hit his toe into the stair, right? And then he broke it.
Have you ever apologized to him? Because I noticed you still haven't asked him to forgive you, but he just did it.
Yeah, he did do
He's like, "I'll forgive you."
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he probably needs to be the one on here for Bible
I think in the
reading.
moment I didn't really know. I didn't know that until years later.
Okay.
It was my fault. That
Yeah, they're cool. Did y'all ever like fight, like real fight? Like my brother and I like had a real fist fight one time, like before UFC kind of stuff.
Right.
Did y'all ever knock down, drag out?
Not really, no.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. So tell us about this one. You look angry, kind of weird, sort of.
I think I'm just annoyed that someone's taking my picture.
Annoyed that some.
Yeah.
I like the hair though, kind of the hair. Are you a guy that I notice now you tuck your hair in the cap, but there your hair is outside the cap. What do you prefer?
Just depends on the day.
Okay.
I'm good either way.
I kind of like babyface Ryan. Like the more I look at it,
I feel like-
Mom, babyface Ryan or hairy Ryan? Which one do you like better?
I'm good with the hairy Ryan, just a little bit, more neatly groomed.
A little more neatly groomed. So she agrees with me. I kind of like babyface Ryan.
Wait, an interesting
Okay.
thing over there in the background.
Okay, this right here.
I think that's Miss Allison, maybe.
Okay, cool. Well, she likes coffee, whatever it is. So maybe that's Black Rifle. Who is this?
That's Kat.
Kat. I know her, I think. Who's that behind you there? Like, we're exposing a lot of people now who hang out with you.
Is Sister Sharon.
Okay, cool.
No, I don't know who that is.
You don't know? Well, awesome. So, and one more picture. This looks like, I
Yeah.
don't really know.
Okay,
So tell me who you are. This is
I'm
you on the right.
this guy all the way over here.
All right.
This is Matt Goss, Nessa's husband.
Oh, dude, look at his hair.
This is Chad Michael.
Okay.
And these two people aren't actually there. Those are cutouts of those people.
No, you're lying.
No, that's really those are
No,
cutouts
you're
because
lying.
it's their wedding, and we were all groomsmen. The three of
Okay.
us were groomsmen,
Uh-huh.
and this is Chris Goss, Matt's brother.
Okay. So
And
that's a
Jenna.
cardboard cutout.
That's a card.
So this
a
is
cutout
fake
of them.
news.
Fake news.
That is awesome. I love it.
frankly is a lot of fake news.
Just kind of getting to know you a little better. Revelation chapter 8. I told you we would talk about, is this time right now getting closer to God's return, Or are we just like every other generation? We all say Jesus is coming, but he never comes. Hey, get ready. He's about to come. Do you believe he's about to come or not?
I think we're closer than we were yesterday.
Okay, well, that's probably just mathematically true.
Yeah.
That we're another day in
Or,
history. But is there anything you see going on around you that would make you think, I believe Jesus is coming is really near?
Yeah, I do.
All
yeah.
right, what?
It's conspiratorial.
That's okay.
Okay. So the vaccine that they're creating for COVID-19,
Okay.
the patent for it is 666.
Okay. And you know this for sure? Or you just got this sitting up late on YouTube one night?
Well,
Or you know this for sure?
Oh, I've seen the patent.
You've seen the real patent.
I don't know if it was.
So you've
it
seen
could have
it
been doctored,
off of Facebook or YouTube.
but I would like to believe that it was real.
So basically, whatever you see on YouTube, you just believe it's real without researching it.
Yeah, that's where I
because
got-
the person making the video says it's real.
Of course, that's where I went to school.
So you
I
believe.
have my doctorate from the University.
So
of
you
UT.
believe that the vaccine for COVID patent number is 666.
Yep.
So we're going to research that. If it's not 666, you publicly apologize.
Yeah, I will, of course.
All right, and then but if it is, I will apologize.
Sounds
so we will. But I love it. If it is, it is.
Yeah.
Also, did you know if you take 2020 and divide it by Joe Biden's text number 3003, that it's 666?
That is weird.
Yeah, that's real weird. So you're talking conspiracy. So I don't know. So here's the question: do I see things today that would make me think that we're closer to the end of the world with Jesus than not before? Here's a few of my thoughts. First, Revelation 13, which we'll get to, the Antichrist rises to power on the hills of religion and politics. In my history, I have never seen such a escalation of religion and politics, and how politics and religion now, even in the local church,
Right.
there's people defriending other people, family members defriending and ousting other family members over politics.
Yeah.
I don't like that you voted for Biden, so you're out. I don't like that you voted for Trump, you're out. Don't talk to me. And so division, even in churches, church people like splitting, like, I'm just sorry you voted this way. Like Jesus is kind of out right now. Right now it's Trump and Biden. And so I have never seen that in the local church.
Yeah, right.
I have never seen such division in God's people over politics.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I think that's different. There is a huge wind of political angst in God's people, for the good or the bad. And that makes me think that this has to happen as we move toward Revelation 13, the establishment of the Antichrist with religion. Number two, I overwhelmingly see that Jesus said, when I come back, it will be like the days of Noah. People marrying and giving in marriage.
Right.
But if you really study that and research that out in Genesis 6, it is not just a wild partying kind of group of people, because we've partied wild for decades and centuries, right? Every generation has their wild parties, from kings to orgies with harems to just craziness. So there has to be something about the generation of Noah that's different. And my belief is that it was a demonic working from Satan's kingdom to basically destroy anybody that was righteous. That's where we get mythology, Greek mythology, the Nephilim, the angels coming down to have sexual unions with humanity, right? And a whole generation. So I do see this. I see that there's a greater demonic presence. Not that demons have never been here, but just weird things. Like, let's go back to politics, just left and right. Typically, you could sit in a room and say, I'm a right wing, you're a left wing, you're a liberal, I'm a conservative. You could have a Coke or a beer over it, and we vote for who we vote, and we go golf.
Right.
Today, the moment you say you're one or the other, you get screamed at, annihilated, cursed at, things burned down, houses burned down. Videos I'm watching, people spitting in each other's faces, hitting them, just over, I don't like your candidate.
Right.
And I see, bless you, I see a much bigger demonic realm from the heightened sexuality, perversions, the things we see with sex trafficking, with pedophilia, with all this just coming to the forefront that's almost normalized now.
Right.
Like there's a normalization of this stuff. It's just so in our face that it becomes normal. That makes me check a box and go, what happens when not an entire generation, but a majority of a generation can't have a debate without losing it mentally and screaming and hollering and falling apart over a political candidate. Number two, when we normalize very perverted things, something's wrong, different than any generation. Number three, you said it yesterday, when we globally shut down the world economically. If you don't get a shot, you don't get food. If you don't wear a mask, you don't come in a store. Though that's kind of connected to COVID, it makes me scratch my head that sure sounds eerily similar to Revelation 13, what will happen later, which is if you don't obey me, you don't buy and sell.
Right.
So there's already kind of a check mark there that there's this mentality, I better obey the government or I can't buy and sell.
Yeah.
I better obey the government or else. Then my debating is connected to the government. My political beliefs are splitting church people. So those kind of things, it makes me just go, man, this feels different than any other time. But I want to give you one more.
Okay.
And this one might sting a bit, but I would love to hear what you think about it. I'm going back to Zephaniah.
Okay.
So we read a Revelation all week, and it's got the 7 trumpets, and we're talking about why was there silence in heaven. Yeah. And I read this verse the other day in Zephaniah chapter 1. So I want to read verses 5 through 7 again, because you asked the question, why was there silence on Tuesday? And we said it's because there's coming a day of judgment. But I want to connect something to this judgment day that's coming. And I just want to get your opinion on it. So verse 5 through 7 of Zephaniah 1. For they go up to their roost, they bow down to the sun, moon, and stars. They claim to follow the Lord, but then they worship Molech too. And I will destroy those who used to worship me, but now no longer do. They no longer ask for the Lord's guidance or seek my blessing. Stand in silence in the presence of the sovereign Lord, for the awesome day of the Lord's judgment is near. The Lord has prepared his people for a great slaughter and has chosen their executioners. Verse 5, before it goes into the day of slaughter, it says, they claim to follow me.
Right.
But they worship Molech too.
Yep.
So we're talking about, could we be closer to Jesus's return based on what we see happening around us, right? Well, if you go back and study Molech was a false god of that time.
Right.
But they would bring their children and sacrifice their children to this god. So a father, a mother would bring a kid, kind of a god of death, and you would place the child in the hands of the god, and then they would light a fire, and then that child would burn alive, screaming, and then they would wildly play music and beat drums to silence the screaming, so the father or mother who brought the child wouldn't hear the screams of the kid, because that was what you did. As a sign of devotion and loyalty to that God to keep you and watch you, you sacrificed your children.
Right.
It goes even deeper, like some people teach in the rabbinic teaching that Molech had 7 chambers like ovens, and they would have flour in one oven, a calf in one oven, an ox in one oven, turtle doves in one oven, a goat in one oven, and a baby in the other. And they would light it all as a sacrifice to the God.
Yeah.
Well, when I read that, Jesus said, as it was in the days of Noah, right? I don't think we're going to see an ark coming back. I don't think we're going to see a global flood, because he says not. So there has to be something about Noah that's distinctly different that I could touch, and I believe it's heightened demonic activity. And so it says here about Molech, this is my question to you. Do you believe that demons and devils that were around, all the way back to Genesis 6 are still present today?
Yeah, I do.
Like they don't die off.
Yeah, right.
So the same devils that could be present in Genesis 6 at Noah's could still potentially be here,
right,
if they're spirit beings.
Yeah.
Okay, so they don't die. So could it be possible that the same devil that worked to bring about a falsehood to Molech to give me your children, that same devil could show up today and do potentially the same thing, but under a different name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here's my thought. I believe, and this may be out there, but it's still my opinion. I believe that the spirit of Molech is abortion today.
Yeah.
I believe that this God that was a false God, that was part of a judgment that was coming, was because a nation of people sacrificed their children to this God.
Yeah.
And I believe, like never before, a sign of the Lord's return is that globally we are murdering more babies through abortion and giving them up as a sacrifice for a better life, a more convenient life. And I'm not talking about mothers that have been raped or things like that. I'm just talking about convenience only.
right.
Convenience abortion.
Yep.
So let's don't even argue over what about incest and what about rape. We'll leave that off. Just I'm going to give my baby up for convenience to medical science, for the betterment of my life, for an easier life. Because I feel regretful, but this procedure is going to rob this life of a child so I can have a better life, is the same thing they did back in the day of Molech.
Yeah.
Except today we just call it abortion.
Right.
And I believe, I looked up the statistics the other day. It was amazing. It was an abortion clock. I don't even know if I can pull it up fast enough to get it back, but I'll see if I can get it to come up real quick. Abortions this year, 37,393,498, 99, 500, 501, 502, 503, 504, 505, 50. That's how quick they're going. So we're kind of upset over a couple of 100,000, maybe COVID deaths, if we could say it's exactly COVID or underlying conditions. 37 million babies since the beginning of 2020. And I believe that tells me when you globally can take that many lives, that's a precursor to the judgment of the Lord coming.
Yeah.
I don't think ever in the history of humanity are we taking out the lives of the living babies like this. There's been the murder of humans, of course, through war, but never like offering a child up to Molech willingly. And what is abortion? It's willingly giving up your child to sacrifice so your life can be better. And so I think that's how I would say I believe we're a little closer today, because I believe somewhere that global killing of children is a precursor to the day of the Lord coming.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's something I would kind of say. So, man, I'm sorry it's so deep today, but thank you so much for hanging with me, and we'll come back tomorrow and maybe end a little lighter. Thank you for hanging out. And remember, we ask you to read it every single day, Zero Excuse, 13 verses of Revelation 8. Have a great day.